So Andrew, what exciting things do we have today? I'm just sharing the link with a few people, so I'll let you talk about what we're going to do today.
Okay, sure. Yeah, so exciting things. Well, we're going to be playing with Firebase. And just sort of an intro, we had one of the people of our community come and say hello and ask, how did we build our little gaming platform that we use for quizzes every week? So we thought we'd run a little stream, talk a bit about how that's been made, and just sort of run you through how to create your own project onto Firebase. I think we may use a little bit of Angular as well during the stream, but we'll try and focus more on Firebase than some of those things.
Awesome.
Anything else we missed?
No, I think that's good. We're going to be going for about an hour and 25 minutes. So write your questions in the chat as we go along. And hey, Vamsi, good to see you here. I know you're using a lot of Ionic, so you're going to relate to a lot of this, which is great. Are you using Firebase as well? So we use Firebase for the gaming platform, which I will bring up now and show everyone. You've probably seen it. If people have been to the quiz, they've probably seen this already.
So it's all using Firebase's real-time capabilities, which is something provided by Firestore within Firebase, and then we're using Firebase's hosting to actually present the website. So they're the two main things in Firebase we're using there.
And I'm going to show it two browsers side by side to show that, and if you change it in one, it updates it in the other.
Yeah, and login is all managed through Firebase as well. I should add that the login capability, whilst it logs in with social accounts, that's all a feature from Firebase. You can figure it all up, and you can be up and running with authentication on social media depends which one you're using, because a couple of them, like Twitter, ask you to sign up for a Twitter dev account that has to be approved, yada, yada, yada. But Facebook and so forth are a little bit easier going than that. So yeah, getting it all settled with social media is pretty cool. And if you don't want to use social media, you can use your own authentication as well. How long are we going to spend on authentication today? We need to touch on it a little bit, I think. We'll find out. He's just showing everyone the real-time chat by looks of things. Do you want me to log in as well? I can log in from there.
Yeah, Andrew can log in as well. So what I've done is I've just created a game on the left, which is Safari, and you can see on the right the game suddenly appeared. And you can see I haven't refreshed, and Andrew has logged in on his side, and now also Andrew's just appeared. So Andrew's typing here on the left. You can see he says hello. I can say hi, Andrew. And actually, if I join from the right-hand side, you will also see he says... Why is my Chrome
not logged in?
Oh, you're not logged in. Okay, I'm not going to log in on that one as well, but that's fine. People saw that appear. They can see it working with you directly as well. So you get the real-time stuff out of the box, which is really interesting. And Firebase do have a really, really interesting free tier. Mohammed's here, so I better really fix that bug that he found actually as well. I'll try and do that while Andrew's doing some coding as well.
We'll see if we can do that during the stream. Yeah. See how it goes.
Sounds good.
That's right. Everyone's going back to school again. Kids are going back to school now, so I'll get more time to fix some of these things that Eddie has been promising to fix. I'll pick up the slack again.
Sounds good. Right. So this is the platform we want to show. We've got a real-time chat, and everyone's probably quite interested in the real-time chat part. So actually, we could probably once we've got the foundations, we could probably focus a bit more on that. So everyone in the chat, let us know where your interests lie, and we can try and focus a bit more on those areas if we can. So
that would probably be a way of touching on everything, wouldn't it? If we built I don't know if we can build the entire chat. That took probably a day to build the whole thing, but we could do a lightweight version of a chat, I'm sure.
Yeah, something really, really simple. So shall I bring my terminal over?
Sure. How are we going to do this? Are we going to do it in VS Code, or what's your plan?
I was thinking VS Code and do a live share with you. What do you think?
Yeah, that works. I know GitHub's got their inbuilt stuff as well, but let's do that another time, perhaps.
Yeah, you haven't got access yet, I don't think. I should have got you access.
I know I signed up. I think I signed up before you as well, but for some reason I've got access. GitHub likes you more than me.
I think so. I think so. What do you call it? I can get you access if you want to have a play with it. Let me start right from the beginning, and let me see if I can clone the project. I don't think I've got it. Let me see if I can delete it and start. Are we going to create a new project, aren't we? Or are we going to show the...
Yeah, start from scratch. I don't think we need to use GitHub particularly for it.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. So what I'll do... Oh, I'll not make that a lot bigger. That's going to be quite small. But once I open VS Code, I can share the terminal with Andrew, and he can have a play. So hopefully everyone can see that. Okay, so what I will do is actually, if people, I should probably share the gaming platform link with everybody if they haven't got it, so if they want to have a play, and I can also share the GitHub of it as well. The GitHub, I have got it open here. It's the first repo gaming platform. Okay, so I want to create a new project. So we'll just make a new directory. We're going to call this Code Mortals Live Stream. Yeah, okay. And then we're going to go into that, and I can straight away just open VS Code. I can initialize it with Git. There's various or npm. There's various things I can do. What I'm going to do is I'm going to open it in VS Code, and then make this bigger, and then invite Andrew to come and play.
Perfect.
Update.
Can break on you.
Okay. Okay, so first thing to do, if I remember correctly, hopefully that's big enough for everyone, is...
It's a live plugin on VS Code. It's not there by default.
Yep, that's true. And I want to share it. So Andrew's recent, so I should be able to invite by email. No, I'll just send you a link. It's probably easier and quicker. Copy link. Here we go. Okay, copy the link. Andrew, you're going to get that on Slack. And then Andrew's going to join and we're going to see him here. It's a shame that actually in this plugin, which is really awesome, it's a real shame that we can't send out multiple links with different like levels of access. So for example, I'm going to give Andrew write access. If I shared it in the chat, then everyone else is going to get write access. It would be great if I could give Andrew write access and other people who are watching read access. That way you might want to follow along directly in the in VS Code as well as YouTube. By the way, everyone watching, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up. Oh, sorry, Andrew, what was that?
Easier for people to read then as well, because you've got your own resolution rather than the resolution you're sharing on the Slack on the stream. It's quite difficult sometimes.
It is, yes. So I can't split that up. I did have a try. About a week ago, so I don't think that's changed, or 2 weeks ago. I think that's changed since. But it might make a fun live stream sometime to give everyone access and see if we can all code together in VS Code.
It seems to be struggling to join. Let me try again.
Okay. And so while Andrew's doing that, we can initialize, if we open the terminal, which is Command J, or I'm guessing Control J on Windows, we can initialize a new a JavaScript or Node project by doing npm init, and we can do -y to accept all the defaults. Okay, so now you'll see a package.json has appeared on the in the file system on the left, and this is what we've got. It's taken the name of our folder and it's put in all these defaults. But I think Andrew's going to use Angular, so we might end up deleting this anyway. But it's something good to show you while Andrew's trying to connect. I'm guessing Andrew's still having trouble.
Yeah, I'm going to give up with VS Code in a minute. It's not even booting up the live share could not be launched.
Should I open and close my VS Code as well and start it again?
Yeah, go on then.
Okay, let's do that. Right, it wouldn't be a live stream without technical issues, so it's all okay. Mine did say I wanted to do an update, so we might be different versions out, so maybe I'll have to do the update. Yeah, see, mine has just updated 1.48. So I'll get you a new link. Okay, it started it, and then there we go. Andrew, here's another one for you. Has anyone watching, have you tried the VS Code live share? I think it's awesome for pairing. The plugins and other bits and pieces we had to do in the past was quite painful. So now it's much easier, which is good.
Great when it works.
We haven't had too many problems with it.
No, not too many, I suppose.
Okay. So should I start an Angular project? Is that what you wanted to do? You're going to do it with Angular?
Hang on, I'm just signing in. Yeah, you might as well use Angular. We haven't got too much time, have we? If we need to, we can always borrow something if we forget.
That's true. So okay, so we're not going to focus on the Angular side. You can do this with React, Vue, or anything else that you want. We're just going to use Angular just so we can do that quite fast, and then focus on the Firebase side. So you can use this for anything. Most of the code will be the same. So if I remember correctly, it's been a long time. I say a long time, been a month since I've done this. ng create and the name of the
New.
file. But we're already in there. We're already in here already. Oh, ng new. But we're already in the folder. So this actually might be a little bit of an interesting, because it creates the folder for you. I wonder if you can do it in the current directory. ng new dot. Is that going to work? What do you reckon? I'm sure you can specify path, actually.
I'm having to uninstall LiveShare, apparently. It's
Okay. Like I said, it wouldn't be a live stream if everything worked straight away. It'd be too recorded. So I'm just going to remember this. I think there's an option for path. New, create a new, Okay, can I go ng new help? Let's have a look. Would you like to create Angular routine? I'm not creating. Maybe it's the help first. Did I read it wrong way around? ng command name. Oh, minus help. Right. Okay, got you.
Otherwise, you'll create a new project called help.
Oh, Vamsy uses LiveShare daily. Awesome. Any tricks that you'd recommend if you use LiveShare so often? Do you think anything that we're not familiar with? Let us know. Prefix, style, view encapsulation, view manager, new project root, the path where the new project will be created relative to the workspace root. So I think we can do new project root. I really thought there was just path. Directory.
Right.
Okay, cool. Directory, a name to create the workspace in. I don't want to specify directory. Collection, create application, force, help. It must be that one that I was looking at. New project root, the path where the project will be created. Okay, let's copy that. And we'll give it a go. If it breaks, we'll start again. ng new, and the project name will be, we call it cm-live stream, and then we should put that first, actually, the flags, just in case.
I've never had to use that before. Why are you doing that?
So I can get it into the current directory. I wanted to make it in the current directory. If not, I'll delete the directory and have to reopen VS Code. Let's see if it works. Okay, it's not complaining yet. Angular routing, I'll just say yes. SCSS. It's done. Let's see. Oh, it has created a subdirectory. Okay, didn't work.
You can't. I don't think you can do in the current directory. I never tried, but
I thought I could. Okay, no problem. I'll let it create it, and I can just drag and drop it up. Anyway, it's not a big deal.
Minimal's quite nice though. Do minimal, and you can set your own stuff up for testing and so forth.
Oh, okay, nice. Didn't know that one. I'm going to start playing with Vue, I think, when I go away in a couple of days.
Cool. You've been talking about playing with it for a while.
I have, but hopefully I'm actually going to get into it. Okay, so we've created it. Sorry, say that again?
Come back, tell us how it goes.
I will do. Hopefully it goes well. So I want to say everything in there. Let's bring it up to here, but the hidden files and folders won't come up. We'll have to do those manually. So let's have a look. And let's see what is left in that directory. Editor config. Okay, so move cm editor config to here. And what else? Git we don't want. Git ignore we might want. So let me bring up git ignore. Did I spell it wrong? Or dot git ignore. Or maybe I've moved it already. It's okay. We're not going to create a git repo for this anyway, so I think that's fine. Okay, Andrew. Right, what should we do next? So we've got this project, and we can start. We can boot it up, right? Let me start it up. I just do npm start. You'll see how easy it is. Mohammed, I think, has written the answer. ng new app name dash dash. Oh, it's directory. Oh, I used the wrong one. My bad. I missed the chat. But thank you for that. You can use whiteboard in LiveShare. Can you? How do you use whiteboard in LiveShare? That's pretty cool. Is that part of the LiveShare plugin?
Do we need to?
No, but I just think it'd be pretty cool to have a look. Okay, let me see if this is now.
We can do another stream that's play around with VS Code.
Okay, so that's now up and running. So if I go to the browser and I do localhost 4200, there you go. So we've got our app up and running, and that is the full Angular framework, which is really cool to get up and running really easily. So let's delete. So as you can see, there's stuff in here that we don't want. All you need to
Don't worry about that for now. We don't want to spend too long on that stuff. Let's get something running on Firebase, then we can play with the project.
Okay, go on. I'll let you lead now. You should have control, right?
Well, we need the terminal up.
Okay,
first.
terminal up. And how can I give Andrew access to the terminal?
I have to request it. There we go. Okay.
Make terminal read and write for everybody. Okay, and then we'll follow Andrew along. Follow Andrew, see what he's up to. Okay, so he's deleting that file that's deleted. Okay. Andrew, take it away. Do we get to see what you type? I can't remember. Oh, we do. We get to see what Andrew's typing. Okay, cool. I'll catch up with the chat now, so this is good. Andrew can do some work, and I can catch up with the chat. Directory, dash directory. Okay, thank you for that, Mohammed. I'll have to have a look at that afterwards. I'll give that a try. Mohammed, you seem to know a lot about a lot of things. What are your main? Remind me what your main tools are. I'd be really interested to know, because I see you answering so many questions on GitHub and Discord and so on. I think that's just really awesome. Be it Django, be it Angular, so many things, React and so on. So Andrew's installing Firebase tools. I'm glad he remembers this off the top of his head. I'd have to look at documentation. Vamsi, tell us more about the whiteboard stuff. I'm quite excited. Andrew, we can't hear you. You're muted.
So I've been talking. Probably because I moved that little toolbar out the way, and I must have hit the mute button. Okay. So I was saying, so we need Firebase tools first. Normally you'd install it globally. We're not going to install it globally now because it's probably better practice not to, because if you're going to use a CI later down the line to deploy things, you're going to want those tools available on the CI. Again, you could install them globally on the CI, but then you're starting to write things that are outside the project space. It feels a bit dirty, so I prefer to keep it inside the project. Once we've got it there, we can then say, if I remember right, npx Firebase init. So npx will run any executable that is in your current npm project, and then Firebase init should ask us some questions. Yes, it's going to ask us, what do we want to use? So what we're going to use, Eddie, we're going to use a bit of Firestore.
Yeah.
Put functions in as well. We may do a function as well. Let's see. And hosting, yeah. So they're the three that we're really using on the gaming platform as well. We're not really using anything other than that at the moment. We do have the emulator set up for testing purposes, but we haven't really got time to cover setting up testing for Firebase right now. But maybe when he gets back from his 6-week holiday, we can look at the emulators and setting up testing for Firebase when he returns.
It's like 2 weeks. 6.
It's never 2 weeks for you.
No, that's
2
true.
weeks. You've got to isolate when you get back as well. Hello.
It's August, or it's just actually the 1st of September here, and we put the heating on because it's freaking freezing. So I'm looking forward to going to Spain and not having to have the heating on in summer basically.
Alive to the world.
Is that
Everyone
Oscar?
can see you.
Hey Oscar, give us a wave.
Wave.
Got a little helper there. So start people coding young. I think that's definitely the thing to do. Oscar's coding already, so it's good to hear.
Right, so you get asked a couple of questions on here. So we haven't set up a project for this one. So okay, so we're going to probably need to create a new one. We can give it a name. What should we call it? CM. You call it live stream.
Yeah.
Let's use the same name. That should be unique. What else could we probably default to project ID? So that's the same as what we use. That will be fine for this. And it's going to create the project. So you can see it's just spinning away now, creating the project.
So this is actually creating the project on the console in what Google or Firebase call the console. It's not a console. It is just a web UI.
Do you want to bring up the console in a browser so people can see what it looks like?
Good idea.
Oh, hello.
Oh, I'm covering it. 1 sec. Let me bring that back up. I'll open it on the other screen. This is what the console looks like.
Okay, it wants you to go to the console anyway. To be fair, I think we normally end up using the web browser to create our projects and then attach.
We do. That's why I was quite interested to see if you're able to do it via the command line, because I was like, oh, that's new.
I think I remember why. Because I think I did try and do it this way before, and you need to go to the console regardless to tell it which in place you want to have it set up to. There may be a flag you can pass in to say set it up with London or Germany or whatever.
Here we go. This is the one. So it has created it.
Yeah. And if you go into Firestore, it's probably going to ask you.
Oh yeah, this is for the database, right?
Yeah, you need to know where do you want the data to be held in the world.
Got you. So you need to create do I need to create the database here first, and it'll be available for you? Should we start in test mode?
Yeah, do test mode first. So test mode makes it fully open for 30 days.
And then we'll just choose Europe. And you can't change this afterwards. Oh, thanks. My silly big head. So we'll choose Europe. So they have US, Asia. There's another Europe West. We'll have to check which one's which, but for now it doesn't really matter too much. Well, they've got lots of places now.
Effectively, what it's doing is it's creating something on App Engine, I believe. So GCP's App Engine is hooked up and associated to Firestore. I can't remember the ins and outs of it. I've got a feeling it runs on an App Engine instance, effectively.
Okay.
And that's why it's asking you to select, because App Engine requires you to pick a region, and it's fixed after you've selected it. So the only way to change it is to basically tear down your whole project and create a new one and migrate to a new one. I have been with a couple of customers in the past who didn't realize that somebody historically had selected America, which is the default, and they were storing UK bank data in America. And I don't know if they admitted to everything. I know I told them they needed to. But I know they got slapped with a few fines for doing that. So easily done. You can get into a lot of trouble with certainly in the finance industry, but in government industries and all the rest of it, if you choose the wrong place to be storing data, because it shouldn't be going overseas. Certainly in the UK, we don't allow it.
So do you need to run that again if there's an error, or is it just an error just on the creative? Oh, it's just on the Firestore setup.
I think it's just I don't think it causes a problem. I think if you look, all the files, so if I go over to the side, they should have all been created. So I'm looking for them. I can't see them.
Or maybe it stopped. I can't see them either.
Okay, let me do it again then. Firebase Init. So Firestore, functions, and hosting. Which is, I'll use an existing project now. It gives me a list of them all. That's the top one. Okay, that's better. Now it's asking me, what do you want to do for the rules? So this is the fix that Eddie needs to do on our main project. What do you want to use for indexes? Again, we'll just use the default. And then what are you going to be writing your functions in? Big question. Which one do we pick, Eddie?
I don't mind. I see the clock ticking, so I don't know how much we're going to get to do anyway, so I don't think it matters. Which one did you pick?
We'll use TypeScript because that's what we would normally check.
Yeah, and it's easier as well with Angular and stuff.
I'll say yes to TSLint, although TSLint is actually deprecated. You should be using ESLint.
That's correct, yeah.
Install the dependencies, do that. That's pretty much it now. That should give us a project. The only thing is that Eddie has made a fatal error in creating the Angular project too soon. I'll explain why.
Oh, yes. That's true. I forgot about that.
So what you're supposed to do is say, I want to create a public directory. I normally call it hosting so that it aligns with Firebase. So I'd call it hosting, and this is where we'd actually put our project to. Do you want to move all your files over to it? I can probably move them here, can't I?
You can move them. You should be able to move them. I'm interested to see if you can, actually. Yeah, you should be able to.
The only problem is I've got the Firebase one. I'll move those back up. Yeah. So when you do it, get your Firestore set up first, or put it in a different folder.
That's true. That's a good lesson to learn. You're right. If I had left it in the subdirectory that Angular was in, we could have just renamed the subdirectory. So I kind of messed it all up.
I'll rename hosting to hosting. Oh, right, okay. Just try and move that. That should be okay. That's just a warning. Everything else should have been moved. In fact, the git ignore stuff we want to keep here, so I'll keep those there. So I'm just going to change into hosting.
Did you move?
You moved back to ones, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Firestar dot. I think it's that. All functions will need to go up as well.
Yes, if you do things the wrong way around, it does create a bit more work. So definitely, I get that right. Firebase first, then your project, not the other way around. So even if you're using React or Vue or Angular, whatever it is, create the Firebase first. Which is actually an interesting thing. I completely forgot about that. I think I do that every time. So I create a project like, I don't know, every few months. I forget about it and I do that every time.
You've got us in a little bit of a pickle here because you've got in the package JSON, we've got a mix of projects in there.
True. We can wipe it and start again. We'll keep it quick and simple if you want.
Oh no, let me. I'll fix it because everyone will love to see how we fix it.
Okay, that's true.
Package start. Move that back. Okay. So send what we've packed. Well, let me put in the IDE instead.
Let me just check we're following you as well. Follow.
So in the package file, if I open it up,
interesting why it's
you'll
not following
see
you. Follow.
Oh,
there we go. Now it's following. Okay.
Yeah, so you'll see it's got all the Angular stuff in there, which is great. We want all of that, but it also has Firebase tools in here. Firebase tools we want at the root of the project, not in the hosting folder.
That's very true.
Everything else I think we're okay with, which is why I said let's not worry too much. I think it's only Firebase tools that is the one that is out of place as such. So I'm going to go back and just do another npm in it. And the same name, that's fine. I'm going to go defaults all the way. We're not doing anything too clever. And then I can do an npm install for Firebase tools again. At level, although we don't necessarily need the tools, do we? I think you've got them globally. And I should remove them out of here as well. So I'll need to just go into this directory one more time. Once that's done. And then fingers crossed we'll be there and we can deploy this out. And you should be able to see it running on the cloud.
Good idea. We can share a link in the chat and you all can see it. It'd be good if we can get, actually I was just thinking, if we could get like a little real-time kind of chat with everybody watching and just see like the chat go a bit crazy, if that's possible. Not designed, perfectly, but maybe something just really simple. We'll see.
Yeah, we can have a simple. We don't have to do any clever designed inputs or install material or anything, do we? Really?
No.
Basic input. Okay, so I think, fingers crossed, all the files are where they need to be now. Okay.
Usually, if we had a Git project, we'd be committing it.
Yeah. So we should be able to just say npx firebase deploy, right? That should deploy everything we've got.
I can't remember. I usually put it on CI, so therefore I forget these things. I don't know how you remember all these things.
Once it's on CI, I normally forget about it as well. Here we go. Functions declared, but value is never read.
Oh yes, so in the functions file we haven't got any functions, so it's the linter saying in here, it's saying it's used. So I can comment that out, I think, as well. That should probably solve it. But then it might complain that the file's not empty and not used. Maybe we'll run it again and see.
Always just turn on the basic function if we have to.
I'm just running it again. One sec. Let's see. You might as well put it as a console log function. Oh no, it's looking better.
Yeah, I'm just happy.
Oh no, deployment requires pay-as-you-go Blaze billing. Because we've got functions.
I'll turn that on.
So yeah, that's one thing that, if I remember correctly, when I used the free plan on Firebase, it is really generous. But if you want to make external HTTP requests, for example, I use GitHub API for my function. You have to turn it on. And it looks like now, if you want to use functions, you have to switch to pay-as-you-go. Which has still got a massive, generous free plan. I've used it a lot. We never paid anything.
So people can see, because whilst there's nothing that comes up on the screen, just do it from yours.
So
inside the project button at the bottom. Do you want to bring that into view? It's behind your arm again.
Is it behind me again? Me and my big head and big arm. So here at the bottom it shows the plan. Andrew's right. We're on the free plan. We're going to upgrade. It's still going to be free because pay-as-you-go includes all plans. So we still get all the free allowance.
You click full plan, you can see the differences between them. So in the free one and pay-as-you-go, you still get a load of free stuff at the top. And then, everything in the Blaze plan includes what's in the free one. So authentication, you get still 10,000 every month included, then you pay for everything over that. Firestore, you get a gig of data, and then you pay after that. Yeah, it's all pretty straightforward. It's all built to say, build this up, get yourself started, and once hopefully you're making money by time you hit those numbers, you'll be more than happy to be paying the costs associated to it. So
exactly. Okay, so I'm just going to go select plan.
I don't think on any project, even ones I've done for other people, even though they have the aspirations, thinking, oh, we're going to hit thousands of hits a month, they still don't tend to go much, if at all, into the paid area. It's very rare most of them actually do that.
And you can set a budget alert as well. I've just noticed this must be quite new, so I can set a budget alert to when it gets past like $1, send me a notification.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think there is a default one you get anyway. But...
Let's try again.
Okay, so that should give another go.
Is it running? Did I hit enter? Oh, I did hit enter. There we go. Running now. I should put a timer on. Should I put a timer on the screen of how long we got left?
I'm just looking to see if it gives us where the URL is going to be. It doesn't look like it's given it to us yet.
It should give us at the end, yeah.
Yeah, well, once you start deploying things, it does take a moment. It's not too bad until you get to actually deploying functions. So there's the URL. Let me grab that. I'll stick that in the chat so people can go and have a look.
And if I bring that up as well,
I'll check it's actually done it.
I'll do it in Chrome where I'm not. Firebase hosting setup complete. Just seeing this.
Okay, I remember there's a step we've missed here. Okay,
It's there.
So what we need to do is you need to go into the hosting folder, so CD hosting, and you need to do an npm build to create the actual project. What you'll also have to do is in the JSON file, whilst it says public here, we're not actually hosting it up straight from the project. We're going to want to host it from the dist folder. So we only want the dist folder to be deployed.
Well, let me follow you again if you're making changes. One sec. Follow Andrew. Here we go.
Build.
So Andrew's changed this line here.
And then, in public, I've just set it to /dist because that should be. I think that's where the right location where the default output is. Yeah. So you see a folder's appeared. Oh, you not got your file list up.
Yeah, here we go.
You should see dist has appeared under hosting.
Yeah, nice and pink.
And that's the one we want to deploy. So I'm going to just run the deploy again. And this time we should actually get a website up. Right, so that's the website. So what do we want to do? What do we want to talk about whilst that deploys quickly? We want to get a little project storing something into Firestore.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Okay, so we're using Angular, so we're going to use Angular's Firebase library. We're not going to try and craft it ourselves. We haven't got time for that, I don't think.
No. Okay, page not found. No index.html. Interesting. Definitely got index.html and dist. Oh, it's a subdirectory in there. It's CM.
Yeah. Okay.
Live. It's the name of the project.
Well, I normally change it. So in Angular JSON, I normally change it there. Let me do that now.
Okay.
So it's line there. So don't change anything else.
Okay, I have. So I'll
it's just that. Okay, yeah, it's just that output path in the Angular JSON. It doesn't need to be a subdirectory. I don't know why they do.
It's because I think you can build for different environments if you've got different config in there.
I think it's more if you have libraries. So when you get more advanced with Angular, you start building libraries and so forth.
True.
And CodeMortals does actually have a library in there. Sorry, not CodeMortals. The gaming platform does have one in there. But we're not using it, so there's no need to bother.
Okay, I'm just running the build again, and then we can deploy.
Okay, so I was just double checking Firestore library, what it was called. I think it's Angular Fire, isn't it?
It is Angular Fire, yes, that's correct.
Okay.
Okay, it's deploying now. So now, if we refresh again on this page, it's going to work. Yeah, so everyone watching on that link that Andrew shared in the chat, just refresh it and you'll see the default Angular page is hosted online for everyone in the world to see in free hosting. It's pretty good. But, it's just static hosting. You can use GitHub Pages. I think people use Netlify. Can't pronounce it. You know the one I mean. But we're going to show you how to get now real-time communication between people. We're going to store some stuff in the database and then we'll read it out. And then in the same link, we should all be able to type a message. Hopefully, we've got time to do that. and we can all kind of have a real-time chat system quite easily. So Andrew's installing Angular Fire just to make it a bit easier for us.
Angular Fire now.
Is it installed already? Okay, nice.
I'm going to just go into the app HTML file and just delete everything out of that because we just want a blank site, right? We don't need anything clever.
Let me follow Andrew again. Here we go.
We are going to probably, we'll come back to that actually. Let's just set up a page. So we're going to have a div on the page. This is going to be probably where the chat comes out. We're going to have a repeat in here. There'll probably be a repeat of some sort. So I'll put another div inside, which will have. So Angular has this @ng4, which just loops over data. And we're going to say let entry of chat. So it's just a for loop effectively. It loops over stuff. We don't have chat yet, so chat will come from the TS file, and I'll just initialize that. So public chat, it will just be an empty array for now, and we're going to put the data into that array. Okay. We haven't got the site running locally. Should we run it up locally?
I thought it was. So, I'm pretty sure I do have it running locally. It's in the. It's in here. Yeah, it's already running locally.
So you can bring it up on a console, and people can see as we're doing this. You can do it side by side, so you can see both or not.
That's true. Oh yeah, this is running the old one though. Yeah, it's running. We move files around. 1 second. Go into hosting and do
the old one. Is it?
npm start. There we go. It should work now. I can bring it side by side. I'll have to remove the sidebar. Make this go here. And it probably doesn't need so much space for this, so we can make this a bit smaller. How does that look for everybody? Make this a bit bigger. And then once it's up and running, which it says it is, if I refresh, Andrew didn't save his files yet, so when he saves them, that will update on the right hand side.
I always forget that plugins don't work properly over live share, so I can't remember what the exact name for Reactive Forms module is. It's just Reactive Forms module. Okay, cool.
Oh yeah, you don't get the IntelliSense. Right, yeah.
Real nuisance. I have to import everything manually. And whilst I largely remember most of the imports, I rely a lot on the IDE for that.
You remember everything.
Forms, right? So because we're going to have a little form on the page, we need the forms module because Angular doesn't include stuff unless you tell it to. We're going to have a little form.
Lightweight.
Yeah. And it's just going to be an input with a button. That's all we want, right? You happy with that?
Sounds good. Everyone watching, how you following along? Any questions, do just write in the chat. We are going quite fast. We've got about 45 minutes left, and we want to get something working. So we should hopefully have time at the end for Q&A as well. But do ask as we go along, and I will answer those questions while Andrew does all the hard work. Standard day, really.
Yeah, it's all good. So I'm going to put two inputs in. In fact, I'm going to have one which is the name, so you can say what your name is, and one which will be the message. Okay. Obviously, you can pretend to be whoever you want in the name, but at least it shows different people's messages going through them.
Good idea.
Form group, isn't it, up here?
And if you are enjoying the video, if you want to support us, give the video a thumbs up. It does help support the channel, and subscribe if you haven't already.
Form control. Name. This is just name. So this is me just putting in the Angular form bits. So form group. We'll have to actually put that in the JavaScript in a moment. But we're just setting up what we want. So there's two fields: name and message. And then the button. When we press the button, there's an action. So we have a click action on this. It's just going to be a submit action. We don't need that. Sorry. It's going to be a submit. Send message.
So the way it will look is we'll have a form field or two form fields underneath with a button, and at the top will be the chat. So as the chat grows, it will push the form down, and we can then limit the size, put scrollable, all sorts that we can do, or we can always swap them around as well. So chat, there's so many things that we can do, but let's get something working, then we can customize it further.
So I'll just put a couple of labels in as well, so that we know which field is which. It might be on time for you to do that. Two inputs. Have I got anything wrong there? You're pairing with me. Tell me if I'm making any mistake.
Yeah, I was just checking the chat. I think Andrew never makes mistakes. Send message doesn't look happy, but that's because we haven't defined it in the component, the TS file, which we'll do shortly. But it is looking good.
So we're going to have two fields up here: entry.name and entry.message. I'll format those in a second as well. But that's basically it, right? So there's going to be, for every message that comes through, so everything in the array, there's going to be an object. So there'll be a name and a message in there. We could even look at timestamps if we get time. And then the form underneath, which is going to have the inputs in. So if I save that, actually, it's going to be broken because it's missing that function. Let me just create that function.
You could even just put a console in it for now. So when we hit the submit, it just puts a console out. As you can see, it's already updated because Andrew saved it. Let me open the terminal. Oh, let me move it to the bottom because it's so in the wrong place. Let's have a look. How can I move this down below? There we go. It's a bit better. Hopefully you can all see and it's not behind my big head. Should probably swap these round actually. Let me swap these round because the web page is not going to have much lower down, but the code will. There we go. Swap those around. Make sure you're all keeping you all still awake.
So just creating an on init to put the form into. We're going to need a constructor as well. And the constructor for Angular is basically a way of injecting some helpers. So we're going to need a form builder. I just call that form normally, the form builder. And then we're going to have a variable up here as well, which is chat form from what I called it, which will be a type of form group. Okay. Form builder and form group don't exist anywhere yet. I think they both come from Angular Forms, don't they? So I'm going to have to import.
I wonder if it autocomplete for me. I could try, but I don't want to. You seem to remember where it is, so it seems to be going quite well.
Yeah, we'll see when I forget. I keep running form. Okay, so forms, there we go. Everything's gone happy, apart from I didn't put a semicolon there. Okay, so chat form. So this dot chat form is going to be this dot form dot group. So we're creating a form group, and it's just got the two fields in it. So name, which we're not going to set any defaults to, and message, which again we're not going to set any defaults to. And that should create a working form, which means I should then be able to say, when we hit send, output this dot chat form raw message, raw. What is it? Raw something already.
Should be. You don't get it. I might get any autocomplete. I don't see it coming up when you type, but I was going to just try. Let me try something up here and see if I get anything.
Right,
Dots. Okay. Yeah, I do get the autocomplete, but not when you type it.
Okay, do you want to refresh the page, send a message, check the log comes up with something, and then we'll get it sending to Firebase.
Okay, we'll say, what's my name? I think my name's Eddie. The message is, did this work? What does everyone think watching? Do you think this worked? Put a like 1 out of 10 in the chat. Let us know. Send message. Oh, we've got a page reload. Ah, is that because the submit send message?
We need to have square brackets around that.
Okay, so try again. Okay, I'll just put E for the name rather than typing my whole name. And second time lucky, question mark. What do we think? Gone from maybe a 2 to a 5. Let's have a look in confidence. And that worked. The page didn't reload, so it's still there, which is great, which is good because we want to still keep the name there for people, but we might reset the actual message. And you can see it's quite small. Let me make it a bit bigger. Oh, it's making that bigger. That's fine. Let me make it bigger down here as well on the console. It's probably behind my head. It is. Yeah. I forget about my big head. You can see it has come through. So that works. We've got a form submitting. Awesome.
Okay. Sending through to Firebase. Now, best practices, we should build a service. Should we do that?
Yeah, let's do that. Or whatever's. It's very quick to do. Quick do a service in Angular, so that's pretty cool.
I'm going to do it in the same folder as well. We normally would have a service folder or some different layout with the whole project, but we'll keep it there. So it's an injectable. As far as Angular is concerned, we use these things called injectables.
Let's follow Andrew again. We've lost him. One sec. Follow
and I'm going to have to manage things. I think injectable comes out of Angular core.
So Andrew's created a new file, just because if anyone's missed that, because I didn't have it open, just in the root of the kind of the app, I should say, in the project side. But usually we put it in a service folder or path component, depending on what you're doing. And you're going to see it's quite simple to have a separate file that you can inject into your component. Therefore, you can reuse it in multiple places, and you can have the service keep state if you need to, or trigger certain events and use like replay subjects and so on. We won't go too much into detail now, but it's what we're showing you already is probably like 80-90% of what you need, and there are a few other little bits and pieces that you will need.
Yeah, so if you're using Angular, again, we're using Angular Fire, so we can bring in via the constructor again, Angular Fire's Firestore feature, which I don't remember what it is. I think it's just Firestore.
I can't remember either. I have to check the docs.
Angular Firestore, I think. Let's go find out if that's correct. Angular Firestore. Don't we have to set something up somewhere as well?
We do need some credentials, yes. I can grab those, and we can put those public anyway. It's not a problem.
Yeah, they're all public values regardless.
So I will need to do not authentication. I need to go to project settings, if I remember correctly. And then you add an app. So you can add iOS, Android, and we're going to do web. And we're going to call this web. Also set up Firebase hosting. I think so. Yeah. Okay, register the app. And it's going to give us a block of text to put in, which should be fine. We don't need that. We need next. What do we need? Where has it gone? Continue to console. I think it must be in there. It usually has a block. Here, config. Here we go. This is what we need. So I'll just grab all that. And then we head back to the code base. And while Andrew's putting in some services, I will go through to environment section. Is where you can have environment variables. You have prod and like local. So in the local one, I'm just going to create a Firebase object in here. Firebase. And I'm going to paste those in. But let's change the double quotes to single quotes. Otherwise, Andrew will get mad, and probably Mohammed as well. There we go. And that's there. Okay, and then we just need a comma on here. That's all good. So that's now going to be available in our code base as the Firebase, and you can go dot API key or for whatever we need, but we just dump that into Angular Fire, which makes it just so much easier. So if we go back to what Andrew's up to, then you will see how he uses that. Let's have a look. Follow Andrew. Here we go. So following Andrew, so he has got here we go. You can see he started the service. Oh, he's done a runner. Okay, so I will continue, no problem. Let's have a look. Injectable. Why is it complaining on that? That should work. I'll leave Andrew to fix that. Observable hasn't been included, and with IntelliSense, I usually delete the last character, hit enter, and it auto completes. Hopefully you can all see that. I just hit enter, and now it adds it to the top. But I'll just shuffle that to be up with the other ones. There we go. Okay, and Andrew was doing this part from, what was it from? Okay, cool. It's looking better. Everyone watching, you still with us? Don't forget, jump in the chat with any questions that you have, and don't forget, give the video a thumbs up. It helps support the channel.
Yeah, why is it giving us red lines still? So you've got observable you've added. I've added message, which is something I created.
Okay, wait a second.
I think it's just we're not returning it yet. Okay, so now we need to actually make the call. So we have Firestore, so we should better say this Firestore. You've added all the other bits, okay, the credentials.
Yeah, it's in the config object. As I haven't added haven't injected it into the Firestore thing though. I do that next. So let me do that now. So I need to go into app module. I need to remind myself I have to look up the docs. When we bring in, let me bring up the docs. Angular Fire. Just search for that. And then there's just a couple of lines that I need to set this up properly. Let's have a look. Example usage, this is what Andrew's going to use it, so it's really straightforward, but there is a configuration line that I need, and I can't remember what it is. Let's see. Quick start, here we go. Yes. Yeah, you saw me, I added in these, so that's all done. And this is what I need, just initialize the app with the environment variables and the Firebase object. So let me do that, and that goes under imports. So I'll put this there, and environment doesn't exist yet because we just need to import that. There we go. Oh, I need to import that one as well. I'll just use IntelliSense. I'll cheat. There we go. That all looks good. Give that a save, and that should be good. We'll go back to following Andrew.
Having a little think, because what we need to do normally is create an ID for a document in Firestore. There is a helper, but normally we store a UID against everything, so we can actually get back the ID if we need to easily. So normally we add into each entry, what's it called? So we can say this Firestore, and there's something called create ID, which will create a unique ID that you can use to create documents with. If you don't do that, Firestore will create an ID, but you won't know what it is without going and querying it to find it. It won't send it back when you create it. So if you want to know what it's going to be to do stuff with it later, which in this case we're not, but I find it's best to assign them yourself, and create ID goes and does that for you. So create ID, and then I'm just trying to decide, do I spread in the values or should we pass the values in individually? Maybe we should pass them in individually. So it'd be name. I could do it shorthand. It'd be name message. Right. Easy going here, aren't we? But then you pass in name as a string and message as a string. Create our message. Apart from, obviously, message conflicts with that name. Give me another name for a message.
This is what we're going to save. So it could be, I don't know. Okay, chat.
So doc is going to be the chat UID. So that's getting as a reference to a document, even though that document doesn't exist. And then how do we write to the document?
I can put the docs here. Don't worry. Look, quick start.
All right, we just set it.
And it will be done already.
So we say chatref.set and the chat message. That's right. And that'll be what we want to return. So normally, because it's an observable, this will come back as a non-observable, I believe. So we have to return with going from.
That's correct, yeah.
And that means we need to import from RxJS as well. Now, in this case, chat is probably, I don't know what set returns. I don't think it's a Boolean though, is it?
No, set returns a promise. And then it'll be an observable of input.
Okay. Well, I've said return a Boolean. I think we should return the ID. That's normally what we would do, is return the UID that's been created. So I'm going to return a string. And then what we're going to say in here is we're going to do that, and then we're going to pipe and map.
Everyone watching, don't let RxJS scare you. It's a bit like promises, but on steroids. And they're actually talking about bringing in the RxJS library into the core node engine, so it'd be good to get ahead of the game and learn these sorts of things. But you have map
Absolutely.
and lots of similar things, map, switch, merge, similar things that you do have in JavaScript, but it allows you to run it on a stream. But I don't want to go too much into that now.
It's RxJS something. What's it from? Operators.
What to import it? It is operators, yeah. That I do remember. Everything else I've forgotten, but for some reason that I remember.
Cool. So yeah, so that should. I mean, we can give it a try if you want. Let me put it into put the call in. This we can just comment out for a second.
Comment out that bit, yeah.
Check if the message goes in, but first let me put it in so it actually calls that line of code. So we've created a service. We're not yet using that service. We've got to say public chat service, then call our chat service in. Okay, so import chat service from, and this is just our local one chat service. So now we've got it available, and we should then be able to say this chat service. What do I call it? Send or save? Why is it not coming up with anything?
You called it create message.
And I'm just going to
and
take.
And it was name and then message.
Because I called them name and message, I'm going to have to. I can spread them out sometimes. Just go like that. Maybe not. Name. I could know what it. Oh, that's fine. If I was creating message to be a message, I think it would let me spread them.
Yeah.
Okay. That should work anyway. We don't need any more than that.
Oh,
let's see if that goes into the database.
No, we got a failure. Because we added new things to the project. Usually, what we have to do is just rebuild it, and it does happen. So if I just do npm start, I'll do it here so everyone can see it underneath, rather than in the console behind. See it building. It's not behind my head, hopefully. Angular Fire's missing dependencies. Fire app. Did I forget to include something?
Yeah, well, there's probably a module somewhere. So you've got Angular Fire module. We normally have another one, don't we?
I probably missed that. Where is it?
You do once every time you start a project, and then forget all about it.
Yeah. So let me check the docs and see. I did skim over it very fast. Added that. I did Angular Fire. Yeah, I did do that. What else did I miss?
You've got Angular Fire Store module. You've got that. We haven't got Angular Fire Store module.
Got you. You're right. You need to do that separately. It's just down here. Yeah.
That should be in the same place as Angular Fire, I think.
No, it's separate.
Fire, yeah. So, okay, how about now? Everything?
Let's have a look and try.
I'm not using auth, not using functions, so we shouldn't need anything else.
Let's have a look. Rebuild now. Target entry point Angular Fire has missing dependencies. Firebase app. What did we miss? We added Angular Fire. Added that. Fire module we added. Oh, no, that's correct. Added to the imports. That's true.
We don't need to tell it the region globally for the project, do we?
I don't think so. We initialized it. We added the Firestore. Bind a Firestore collection and go straight into it. So yeah, that's what we've got.
Yeah, we don't need to do that unless we're calling functions.
Run your app locally. What did we miss? The entry point Angular Fire has missing dependencies. I'm going to have to Google that.
Oh, here we go. Okay.
You found it?
Yeah, it goes in the service, apparently.
Well, let me follow you so we can see what you're doing. One sec.
And we need to add Firebase as a dependency to the project as well. I'm trying to remember how that then gets used.
I didn't see that in the quick start.
No, we only need that if we only need that if we're trying to do the field values to set server timestamps and such. So
Yeah.
we shouldn't need that.
Okay, let me go
But
back to Googling it.
it was asking for it.
Let's have a look. Okay, someone else has got this. Someone else has got this issue. Had the same problem. Compared my package JSON file with a different project of mine at work the other day. I found that the Firebase package was not there, so I just copied in.
Yeah, I'm just going to add the Firebase package in.
Oh yeah, that's what it's complaining for. Yeah, so npm I fire. It's not behind me. Oh, it's behind the logo. Let me move that up slightly.
Yeah, I think underneath Angular Fire is calling to the Firebase dependency, so you have to install it. But yeah, we're not actually using anything from it on this project. Sometimes we do though, because if you want to get the server to set the timestamp for when you create something. So whilst a lot of people might do it and get the browser to do it, obviously then if someone's browser is in a different time zone or whatever, it can cause all kinds of headaches. So if you import the Firestore, well, you have to import it, but there are features in there like calling field value to set a server timestamp, which is quite handy. Okay, it should be there now. Trying to run it up again.
Yeah, let's have a look.
I don't think anything else. I think it's purely the Fire library is calling to it and can't find it.
So what did you change? Sorry, I missed that. It looks like it's better now, right? So what did you change? I was just removing the logo.
Adding the dependency.
Where did you add it to? Which file?
Package JSON.
Oh yes, it was just that one. Yeah, you didn't add an import or anything for it.
Oh no, I took that back out again.
Okay, so that looks good. Right. Okay, so here's the code. Here's the browser. Let me bring up also the database, so we can hopefully see it go in Cloud Firestore. I'm not reading it out at the moment, but let's have a look. So if we say Eddie test message, hit save a few times, and we've got messages, and we got it in twice. There we go. It has worked. Yay. Let's read it out on the page, and then we can share the link with all of you and see what messages you write. Nothing rude. It's going to be a bit worrying. We haven't got a delete button, have we?
No worse than things that happen on YouTube, right? Okay, so to do that, we need another service. So I did start creating this get all messages. Let's finish building this get all messages, which will return and listen messages that are going on. Now, I think it's going to be this Firestore, so similar to before, Firestore. And then it's value changes we're looking for, isn't it? So we'd say which collection again? So collection messages.
Here's value changes, yeah. That keeps the real-time part open so we can get messages without refreshing each time, which is really nice.
We do sometimes now use... what's the other one we're now using?
It's like diff or change or something. It's something that...
Unless you specify you want to look for just new data or everything. So value changes will get you everything back every time something changes. So if you've got a database with 1,000 entries in and someone adds one entry, value changes, I think, will end up giving you everything back potentially.
Yeah, I think there might be a limit on it, but it will. Yeah, you're right. It will give you everything. Whereas there's something else that you can get, which only sends you the differences of what's changed. So rather than wiping the whole list of messages, you would just update certain messages, or if you're only looking for ones that are created new because it's read only, then you would state changes got you. You would then just append it to the list each time.
So you just want the ones that have been added, not the ones that have been changed. Yeah, we can do some ordering as well. We don't really have anything to order by, so this lot is all going to come through potentially differently. Maybe we should add a timestamp.
No, it'll come through in the order that it goes in at, won't it? Because you're doing add, we're just going to append it to the end of the list. Yeah, it should be okay. Let's just try it. We'll fix it if we need to.
All right. We can add a timestamp if we need to in a minute. Okay, so do we need anything else? I don't think we do. We just need to return that. We'll probably convert it to an observable again.
Yeah, you will need to. I think it comes back as...
You do. I think state changes comes back as an observable. The only thing is we need to that it's a message.
Yeah, that's annoying. That autocomplete thing is so weird. Trying to do HTML. You're saying it's an array, but it's no longer an array, right?
We need to convert it. We want to convert it to an array. I don't think we want it as what Angular or what Firebase sends back. So we'll do a pipe again, and we just need to map. I don't think we need to do anything else, do we? Just map it.
I think it should be okay.
And then what do we need to convert it to? What's the type that comes back? Can you remember?
I don't. We might have to console log it and see. I don't remember. Because it's got this weird. It does come back in a weird format because it's got the added metadata or something with it, I think. Or we can just use value changes just to keep it simple.
I think it's for each one we need to just pull out the data. We just go through each of them and say message dot payload dot doc dot data. That. And that's it. Okay, so now we can pull that through to the component, and we'll just do that in the on-init. We don't need to do it anywhere else, do we?
No, it should be fine. As the component loads, let's display it. While Andrew's doing that, everyone, any questions, write in the chat. Give the video a thumbs up. Help support the channel. We've got about 18 minutes to go, and I think we're going to get chat messages coming through real time, and then we're going to share the link in the chat so you can write messages and you can see it for yourself in your own browser.
Just import message because it's upset that they're different types, but that's okay. It's good really to have type checking in there. Oh, I'm still not happy. Why is this chat not happy? Missing.
Oh, because you've got equals rather than type.
Oh, I know. I need to go subscribe.
There we go.
And find it inside there. That's why. So what you'll find here is if you've got a auto scroll or something going on, because it's reloading. This is actually no. We've gone back to state change, so it's okay. It'll keep adding them on the end. But if you use value changes, you have say a scroll bar, because it will be redrawing the entire list. You get a nasty flicker go on. But by using state changes, we shouldn't get that flicker. We're already using that. So hopefully, if you go in now, I think everything should be there to work already. Chat, name, message.
Should I try it? Let's see.
Yeah, it should do. Obviously, we might want to format it a bit because it's going to look pretty horrible.
So, oh, nothing. Let me check database.
Okay.
Let's check database, see what's going on. There are no errors as well, which is interesting enough. And the database, well, we know they've gone in. Yeah, they've gone in. But we knew that worked already. So let's have a look. So in the HTML, it's called entry of chat, and then we've got this is the service. Where's the component? Maybe it didn't save properly. Let me save that now. Yeah, okay, there we go. Now it's working. It didn't save. I think when you save it, it doesn't save it properly. So you can see all these messages appearing at the top. So therefore, if I just go Andrew, and then he'll be BBBBB, and hit send message. Okay, it
overwriting the list. Yeah, so so what we've said this chat. So we're only getting the added entries. We're not getting everything come through. So what you want to be doing is actually adding the new messages on to the end of what we already have. We want to take messages and we want to take this chat. Just join the two together like that, I believe.
Okay, let me hit save. Oh, not over there, over here.
I think I should do it.
Oh, no, it doesn't like something. Cannot find a differ supporting object.
Yeah, that's what I just suddenly thought. It's probably going to have an issue with the diff.
Let me just put this onto multiple lines just so we can read it easier. I'll put the subscribe down here. Oops. There you go.
Yeah, normally we do a funny. I think we normally loop through them funny. Maybe I should just take it off using state changes for now because we don't need to go through that at the minute. it'll make things a bit simpler. Keep that back to there.
Keep it simple. So if I save that, and then you're going to change it in, in here, valid changes, and you don't need that pipe anymore, I don't think.
Pipe either, I don't think, because we're no longer anything too clever. I think it comes back as an array automatically now.
Why is it not happy about that? Oh, new line.
Everything's saved.
That looks good. Okay, so if we try Andrew, and then we do 22222. You're right, it doesn't come in the right order, but it does work. So let me share this link. Oh, this is local. This is not going to work. So we have to deploy the app and see if it works with people.
Deploy quickly. So npm build first, get a new version built.
npm build, npm run build, I think. Yeah.
And just an npm, Firebase npx base deploy.
I think it's still running the build. Oh no, there we go. The build's finished. Yep. Awesome. 13 minutes to go, and it's going to work, and we get to share the link with everybody. Okay.
Yeah, we can add a little bit of formatting and stuff, but it will refresh the entire list every time. And as Eddie saw, it won't order them, so we could do with putting some ordering in. So whilst you're doing that, I'm going to add a created date, and this is where that Firestore piece comes in useful. Firebase.
Okay. So let me bring up the project, and when just to clarify, when it says it will refresh, it won't refresh the page, but it will just refresh the list, and you won't see it. It will happen, so quickly because it's refreshing the data in the browser. So if I go to here to the live one, refresh. It's not finished deploying yet. Let me check. It should have finished deploying. Is that cached? Let me just try. Private browsing. Oh no. Why is it? It says it's deployed. Has it changed the URL? Oh, it has changed the URL, I think. Okay, let me change the URL. So now I made it a project. There we go. Okay. So if I share this link in the chat with everybody, we can see who's still awake. And Andrew, you should have that as well. And we can see people type some different messages. Nothing rude, please. And it should just appear without refreshing. So my hands are up here. I'm not refreshing anything. And it will automatically appear as people fill it out.
I'm just adding a little extra so we can do the ordering as well, which is fairly straightforward. I'll just say what we'll order by. Just that. So I've just added another field up here. So when we create the chat message, there'll be a created field go in, setting a server timestamp, and then we're going to order it by when it was created. So that should then start putting them in. Do we want them ordered by? Yeah, go down the list. Yeah, why not? The latest mesh will be at the bottom.
So let me run a build again, and I'll just do the deploy immediately afterwards. There we go.
Yeah. I'm going to go and test it out and see if it works.
Yeah. So that link I shared in the chat will work for everybody. So if you're watching, you can load up this chat. You'll see this beautiful chat system, real-time chat, that we've done with only a few, just a few lines of code, really. Yes, there are function declarations and so on. So it's Andrew, this message is coming up. They're not coming up in order. Vamsi's still here, awesome. But they will be in order after the deploy. Let's format it in the middle time while we're waiting for it to deploy.
Nothing too fancy though, because I haven't got time.
Okay, so it's deployed. So if I refresh it now, it should be in order. Let's have a look. It has deployed. Has it given us a new URL? No, it's the same. So if I refresh, maybe it's cached. Let me do private browsing. Oh, interesting. Oh, some of them don't have dates, do they? Because although Andrew added the date, some messages won't have dates.
You can go into the database if you really want to and wipe it all out.
So let me add a new one. So this is new with date. And that one will have a date and none of the others will. So we might need to wipe all the data and start again. Trying to find the one with date. Definitely saved it with a date. Where's the date one appearing? Let me order it. Ramsey spamming. Well, that's a new one, so that came in, so that's great, so that helps. Thank you. But there's no date on it. So Andrew, I don't think we're creating a date. You're ordering by date. Let's see. On the create, did you add it? Created, you did.
Is it all saved?
Maybe it's not saved. Looks like it's saved. Let's deploy again and find out.
To the name, the time as well. Hang on.
Okay. Let me stop that build. And we'll do that. Well, it is working. We've just got to get it in date order. Andrew was right. We should have put the date from the beginning.
Hopefully it'll be happy enough with what I've just written.
Okay, let me save everything. About your HTML, you happy to deploy that as well?
Hang on, not quite.
Okay.
Just give me a second.
No worries.
Handlebars around it and type it into date. Just put a format on there. Let's just do time. We don't need the day, do we? I've got the day as well.
That's fine.
Okay. So it's hours and minutes, and maybe seconds as well for anyone that's being too quick about typing.
Okay, I'll save that. Let me build and deploy it again.
But the ones that don't have a created, I suppose they might just come up with nans or something. You can wipe the database in a minute anyway.
Okay, let me wipe the database while we're waiting for it to deploy, and we can all start again. The easiest thing to do is delete collection, messages.
And the other thing we could do as well is after we create the message, we could then do, well, it gets into Angular a bit, but we could reset the message field as well and stuff. So I'm not sure what formatting I just added. I just threw a couple of lines in without even looking.
I see you're testing it already. So, Eddie, my first message. Ramsey beat me to it. Damn it. Okay. So mine didn't come in order. It still didn't come in order. I think there's something not quite right. Let me check the database, because mine came in third and Ramsey's came in at the top. So yes, the date's not being shaved. I know why. Is it because we've got the type created and does... Oh no, we haven't got... We're not forcing a type on that. Set chat... What have we missed from...
A quick look at
set. That looks correct. Used with setter update. How long we got? We've got like 6 minutes. We're going to get this working. It's not... Vamsy, what's your message in the chat? It's not responsive, as in yeah, it's not a responsive layout. Is that what you mean? Or it's not in real time? Yeah, it's not going to be a responsive layout. Nothing on the layout at the moment. We're focusing on the real-time data, if that's what you mean. But it should be responsive in terms of, yeah, you get real-time messages without refreshing.
Can you just open it on your local machine as well? Just check what it's looking like on your local.
Oh, what? I haven't got it running? No, let me start it running again. Let me bring it up in the terminal behind. npm start. Should be up and running. Okay. Oh, you got a couple of errors.
That is looking a bit better, but there's obviously a problem. So,
let's have a look.
Okay, it doesn't like the fact that there's a timestamp. I thought normally it was okay with that.
Because the timestamp is the Firebase timestamp it's going to be slightly different.
We don't have to convert it, do we? I thought it was maybe we do.
I think we do.
I think I know. I'm going to double check though before I just go and jump in because we're running out of time. Just guess. Yeah, I thought so. We do that.
Is it saving it?
We just added to date on there, which is what I thought.
Interesting how it's not saving it in the database. I think the oh yeah, it has come through. It must be saving it in the database. Why don't I see created though in the database? Why don't I see the date?
I can't. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's on some of them. Right. Okay, it's on some of them, but not all of them. Okay, so let me just delete that again and start again, and we're going to get this right. Right. Everyone, get ready to create some new messages.
Hang on a second. And just put in this, and then you can do a deploy.
Okay. Delete collection messages. Delete.
That's working.
Okay. Let me know when you're ready to rebuild and deploy.
I think so, but can you just check your local again? Because it didn't look quite...
Test. Oh, no, it still didn't like that. Canary property to date of null.
Oh, this is when it comes back with its estimate stuff, isn't it? Is this the server estimates hitting us?
Let me close some of these tabs. Oh, don't mean to change screens.
Do it in here.
Let's follow Andrew and see what he's up to.
Not sure if we can or not. I've not done it with value changes. You tell value changes to format server timestamps?
I don't see why not, because you're going to just loop over each...
Yeah, but I normally do it with... Can I go back to what I know? Yes. In state changes, we can do this. For every message, the payload doc, and in here we can say timestamps. Timestamps, perhaps. I don't know anything.
So good for remembering this. I always have to check the docs. And Andrew remembers everything. Andrew is the docs. We should call Andrew Docs from now on.
Yeah, the only thing is, obviously, now we're going to be back to the issue in the component of joining the data together. How do we get around that one?
Yeah, Vamsy, we can do that. We can clear the message field after sending it, so keep the name field still populated. So you don't have to retype that, but clear the message. We'll do that in a moment. We've got a couple of minutes left in the stream, and hopefully we can get time to do that.
When I clear the messages for input, was that?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can do that quickly. That's easy enough. So we can say, after we do the create message, we're not yet hooking into the subscribe on it, but we can. So we can say subscribe. And once it's completed, we can then go this dot chat form. Because we want to keep the name, so we say reset. You can say we want to keep the name value, so we can say name is going to stay as message.name. Everything else will get reset.
Nice. And up here, we're going to have that same error, though, aren't we?
No, I think before the issue was I put in curly brackets. I think.
Oh yeah, you did put objects before. Yes, you did.
Okay. I think what I had wasn't right. I just put the wrong bracket.
This chat is not iterable. Why is it not iterable? It's an array of messages.
Should in array, right?
No, is it because I know why? You mean to default it to where's it gone? I'm following you. Let's unfollow Andrew for a second. Where's the component? Open this component. We should just make it to an empty array, I think, right? There we go.
Oh, was it an empty array already? I thought it was. Sorry.
No, that's okay. I noticed that before, because before you had it equal to the type, and I removed the equals and changed it to a colon, but I didn't think about the default. So
okay. We had it right between you, just needed both parts.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so let's test this out. So we'll say Eddie, and the messages first message. This is local at the moment, so if I hit save, oh, lots of broken stuff. Cannot read to date of null. I don't think it's saving it in the database. Let me refresh the database and have a look. Oh, now it's got created in that one. Okay, some of them haven't. Some of the older ones haven't. Okay, so let me delete the collection again. We haven't got any checks. We should put in a check where to say if there isn't a date, just ignore the date. But
put an ngIf in there quickly.
Then we'll deploy it so you can all get to use it as well. Oh, don't send any messages just yet, because you won't have the new code, and then therefore you'll be putting data in that doesn't have a date. So wait a second for us to deploy. Hey Jason, good to have you here. You're coming right at the end. We're just finishing off, but we'll share the link.
Built a very simple real-time chat using Firebase and Angular. I suppose we ended up using Angular a bit more than I intended today, but it's all about getting Firebase to do some real-time work for us. So we've got a little chat going.
So I'm going to test this myself. So Eddie and first message, hit send, looks good. The message got cleared, so that looks nice. So I can go second message. Again, second message, brilliant. Let me go to the database and check that they're in there, the date and time. I'm pretty sure they are. And then we can share the link again. Vamsy went in too quick. They didn't have a date. Hasn't been deployed, but that's fine. Oh, Andrew went in too quick as well. But now it's deployed. So if I go to the live URL that you all should have, I'll share it again in the chat. If anyone new has joined, give the video a thumbs up as well if you have just joined. And this should eventually reload. It has been deployed. Why is it cached? It's probably cached locally. Or it could be doing kind of like the CDNs and updating around. It might take a minute to come through. Let me open it on a private browsing. There, oh no, it's still the same. Come on, update the cache. So you can see Mohammed has written A. Jason has said hello, Eddie. Awesome, it's working locally. Don't know, mine's caching the deployed one, but I'm guessing you're all seeing the new one because it has got your time that's coming through. So that's.
I'm not seeing the front end, so I've not got the grey background. So if you've not got those grey boxes, you're on the old version. So I'm not seeing the grey boxes come through.
Not me neither. We have deployed it. Maybe it didn't save. Let's just do one more build and test. I think I did save it after you started the deploy.
I was going to say, do you want to wipe your local build to make sure that build folder is empty?
Good idea. So remove force. Is it dist? I'll just do it in the directory here. It's not there. It should be okay. It's deleted it.
Okay, this folder's gone, is that good?
Yeah, I think it's okay. Okay, let's rebuild that again and deploy it. I think we didn't get saved right, but locally it looks okay to me, and I'm getting people's messages with the timestamp, which is good. It's all real time, right? So none of us are refreshing the page. It should be all coming through automatically. Yes, when the new code we deploy now, you are going to have to refresh it to download the new code. But apart from that, then when people write messages, it will just work. So give us a couple more seconds. It will deploy it. Andrew, how are you doing on time? A couple of minutes?
Yeah, we've got a couple of minutes.
Just to do one final test of everybody. Okay, it's deployed. So if I go to this browser, it's still caching it. Interesting. I don't know why. On live, what do people see on live? Right in the chat. Message not cleared, says Vamsy. See, I get the message cleared locally, but for some reason the deployment is showing having the old code, so you're not getting it to clear message. So thanks for letting us know. I'm guessing you're not seeing the grey background that I see here locally. Oh, is it still? Did you run it again, Andrew?
Yeah, I'm running it again.
Okay.
Well, I just want to watch the deploy actually come through on Firebase's console.
Okay, that's the build that's just happened. Now the deployment's coming through. So it was working before. I think it's just a caching issue. Sometimes it's a few minutes to come through. When I send a new message, it produces an error, cannot read property to date of null. Yeah, I think that's the old code. The new code is working, but when we're deploying, the new code is not...
Well, are you seeing the grey boxes? Because I think the grey boxes...
No, Vamsy says no. No, I'm not seeing the grey boxes on live. Only locally I see the grey boxes, but live I don't. Why is that not... Everything is saved, I'm pretty sure. There's no dots by anything. Why would that suddenly all of a sudden not be deploying the latest code? I could try a different browser. Maybe it's caching it for us all. Let me try a different browser. Yeah, it's caching it for us all. A different browser it works. So that's Chrome. I'm refreshing on the left. On the right, it's Safari, and it's got the grey background on the domain URL. Interesting that it's caching it so aggressively.
Yeah,
okay.
That's a bit of a from Firebase. We don't normally get that problem.
Don't normally have that issue, and I'm doing private browsing, and I'm still getting that issue. Interesting.
Okay, so
use a different browser. Open up a new browser. Oh, Mohammed said it works now. Awesome. I'm still refreshing my deployed version. It's not. New browser.
I'll wipe the data time as well quickly, so we've got rid of any of those. Well, we might still get some of the old ones.
Awesome. Jason says they're seeing it live too. Okay, so you're wiping it, are you? Okay,
yeah,
so Eddie, another message. I spelled another message wrong, but I got in there first, which is good. Andrew got in there 1 second afterwards. With no refresh, hands up here, messages coming in. Close and reopen the private window. Oh, okay, Jason says that. Let me try that. No, it still didn't work. I don't know why. It's quite some aggressive caching.
We're not going to look into the caching problems now. We've done most of what we wanted to do for today. We can always work further on this if people want to see more about what you could do next with it. We can figure out things like why the cache is misbehaving on this particular version. There may be a flag somewhere we haven't turned on. I can't remember.
Yeah, but it looks good, right? So real-time chat in about 1 hour. Loads of messages came in. Mohammed's just, I think, hit that send message. There's no check, right? So you can... Oh, Jason's saying all the tabs. Okay, let me try. Where's my Chrome gone? I've lost Chrome completely now. Okay. Bring that over here. Go over there. Paste this in.
Right, let's put a little check in there to make sure text.
Jason is right. You got to close all the incognito tabs and then open it. That's really bad. I would have thought each tab itself would be incognito rather than the window. But Jason, thank you very much for that. I learned something new. So that's good. Vamsy's hitting enter with no messages. So I'm going to do it too. There we go. I haven't even got my name. Let me put. Whose name is this? Let me do Andrew. I'll put Andrew's name in and say I love Windows. And if I send it, we can now all see that Andrew loves Windows. There we go. Look, you've seen it for real. It is there. I didn't write it. Obviously, Andrew wrote this.
Absolutely. I'll add a validator in quickly as well, so we can validate that the field needs to have something in there. The whole thing is putting a message up on the screen is a bit of a nuisance.
Don't worry, we'll stop there, Andrew. It's 5:10. We got what we wanted to do done in our app, but Andrew's right. You can put in, I suppose, disable if there is no message. Andrew wants to add in some basic validation.
Invalid, right?
So how has everyone found? So we've done, just to recap, we've deployed our app to Firebase, and we're using Firestore for real-time data, and so we've got it deployed as well as running locally, all in about 1 hour. And we had some technical issues, as you saw, which is always fun. Technical issues on the live stream, technical issues on live code share, VS Code. I think we both needed to update our VS Code. It's been a while, we've been kind of delaying it. Mr. Docs, aka Andrew, exactly. Okay, let me write. Sounded awesome. I was so busy. No worries. You can always catch the live stream, or we're going to do more live streams. So let us know what you'd like to see. It's just kind of an overview on the real-time kind of side of Firebase, with also the static hosting. But there are functions that you can run, API endpoints as well. We've done a stream on that a couple of weeks ago. So there are various things that we can do. So let me open and close this again.
We could have something like a cleanup job. So you have a function that would check to see if there was a message missing or by somebody you don't like. You could block them, so you could get it to run a function and delete messages as they come in and get added to the database.
So this one, Andrew has fixed it now, as you can see. The send message, hopefully it's not too far behind my head. It's a little bit behind my head. The send message is disabled, so now Vamsy can't smash it without putting in some information. So name.
And gets the latest version.
Oh yes, it's only gets the latest version. That's very true. Test. Okay. Perfect. It works, and now it's disabled until message goes in. Awesome. Andrew, let's call it a day there. Everyone, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up. Really helps support the channel. Thank you very much for... Vamsy's putting in blank messages. That's interesting. Because mine is
the old version.
Oh, old version, yes, because mine is still disabled until I put a message in. Okay.
You can put it there to see what version you're on and get Firebase to delete it if you're on the wrong version as well.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Everyone, I hope you had a good time. We really enjoyed geeking out with you today. Hopefully you learned something new. Let us know in the comments below what live streams you would like to see. And there are some hackathons coming up. So Andrew, when I get back, maybe we should do the GitHub Actions hackathon. They have first prize of $1,500.
Sounds worthwhile.
Sounds good. We could spend a day. Geeking out on GitHub Actions, live streaming it, and hopefully win. You're muted, by the way, Andrew. You're still muted, Andrew. If you're talking to me, you're muted. I don't know if Andrew's talking to me or not. He's probably just muted himself and is going to start swearing at me. But yes, there's a GitHub Actions hackathon that's running until the 17th of September. So maybe we will run it. Maybe we'll do the hackathon and see what we can create. Andrew always has lots of crazy ideas, so I'm sure we can try and implement those. I think maybe a quiz. Oh, Andrew, what about a quiz using GitHub Actions? How cool would that be?
Well, we've already got a quiz platform. Oh, you mean actually you have a quiz with questions on it?
Yeah, so I was thinking just kind of like a kind of a simplified version, maybe like in your README in your I don't know, in a README in your project, you could have like a quiz so people go to the next question. It's obviously very, very different. You won't know who's doing it and all the rest, so it's not as obviously advanced as the platform that you've created. But I don't know, just one crazy idea. I'm sure you've got loads of more crazy ideas. So we'll have a think, and in a couple of weeks we can see if we can enter something into the hackathon.
Cool. Yeah, we'll have once you're back, we'll have a sit down and have a think.
Exactly. Everyone. Oh, sorry, Andrew, go on.
So it won't be too late in a couple of weeks.
We'll have a few days before the hackathon. So yeah, I'm back like on the 14th and it finishes on the 17th. So we'll have to try and fit something in. If not, we can at least share some ideas with people and see what they can build and so on. So
sounds good.
Let's give everyone a wave. Everyone have a great week. Give the video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you soon.
Yes, enjoy your time. Have a good holiday, Eddie.
Thank
you. Don't get
you.
into too much trouble.
I try not to. Thank you.
All right.